Hello, Laziali all over the world. Welcome to a special episode of Lazio Lounge because yesterday we had the derby and we have to talk about these incredible games. Before, I have to thank all our new Patreon, James, Paul, Robert, who subscribed last week. Thank you very much. James, we met before the game. Yesterday was nice to meet you. Was nice to meet Italo, who came from Canada to watch the derby. So, guys, if you're in Rome and plan to watch Lazio game, text me and we'll arrange something at Ponte Milvio. Luckily, Alistair is not here. We are joined by our big friend Carsten. Carsten, I didn't expect to see Lazio playing like that because on Thursday night we were in Norway, long trip, difficult game. So I thought Lazio would have been tired, fatigue, etc. We have to admit Lazio played much better than Roma, and probably if there was a team that deserved to win the game, it was Lazio, right?
Yes, completely. I was very disappointed with Roma. I mean, they're in great shape at the moment. They're winning almost all their matches, but they were terrible yesterday. And I think Lazio should have won maybe 3-1. I think would have been well deserved. I mean, we had three chances from six feet away. I mean, Romagnoli has a header 6 feet away. Noslin has one at the end of the match. Dia has the one where he's slipping. We were so unlucky not to get two, I mean, at least two goals more. And the one time they have one shot on goal, they score this. I mean, we have to admit, it was an amazing goal they scored.
Sule is a great player, and we considered far too much space there. But you think you said unlucky. I think it's lack of quality from our strikers because we miss the Noslin opportunity. It was in front of me. Last minute of the game, you should go with confidence and skill, and he missed the ball. That's unacceptable for a Serie A player.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell if somebody touched him or something like that. But if you miss the ball 6 feet in front of goal without anybody touching you, I mean, that's just a terrible miss. And it is so important. It's two important points against Roma. We're competing with Roma for that fourth spot, and also it's Roma, you know. So yeah, I don't understand how he missed that. I mean, Diaz miss I understand because he just slipped. He simply slipped. But I mean, we were so unlucky yesterday. So unlucky.
Yeah, we need to have. I mean, what I said this morning is with the talent we had with Felipe Anderson, Luis Alberto, and Milinkovic Savic yesterday, we would have won easily that game. This is what missing. These players are not at the same level. And yesterday we had Tati back starting the game. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong. He didn't have a shot on target. He didn't play bad, but from the number 9, you expect even shot on targets, right?
yeah. I mean that's what we get with Tati. He's somebody that we pass the ball to. He's supposed to be holding it up. I think he's usually pretty decent at that. But Tati is the kind of player that Roma's defense can deal with pretty easily because Roma's players, we just talked about this before we went on. It's a slow team. It's an old team. It's a slow team. Almost all of Lazio's players are quicker than Roma's players. But when they sit really, really low, like they did yesterday, they sit so low. They're so defensive. Castellanos is not really a big deal for them because they have Mancini. They have these big guys next to him. And I think they dealt well, to be honest, with Castellanos. We have to remember he just came back from injury. So, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because last Thursday we lost a terrible game against Bodo. I thought maybe the worst game of the season. We lost only 2-0. We should have lose like 5-6 nils. Man, that was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really surprised to see this team playing so well in the derby. They
Yep.
just had Saturday to prepare the game. So do you think they played last Thursday focusing already on the derby, or is just a reaction after a terrible game?
I think it's because of the derby. I mean, if you look at Rovella, you look at Guendouzi, they're the biggest warriors we have in that team. I mean, they want to win every single battle. The Danish commentator on TV is a good friend of mine. He said after 1 hour, he said, I don't think they've lost one single duel in the middle of the pitch. I mean, they were just magnificent. I think they've been so good this season, these two players, that we're just getting used to it, you and me. But they have been they were so good yesterday again. I mean, they have so much fire in their eyes when they play. I think Roma was a little bit surprised that Lazio came out the way they did,
Yeah,
because they came out like this was a war, basically.
it was a war. I mean, this is a derby. We lost the other leg, and after the Bodo game, I thought we had to uh, play differently and try to win. Alex is not here, but we have to talk about Gigot because I said he could be the man of the derby, and I thought he played really well. We know how Roma plays: long ball to Dobbik, who keep the ball and make the other players close to him, and Gigot pretty much cancel Dobbik from the game, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Dobbik used to be at FC Midtjylland 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but he did. So I've seen him up close, like standing right next to him, and I can tell you that guy. He's a big fucking guy. I mean,
Yeah, he's huge.
he's so strong, and he's really really quick too. He doesn't look quick, but he is really quick too. So Shigo, this was the perfect game for him because he loves those matches where he can just, because he has a lot of physique as well. He's
Yeah,
a big guy too. I agree. I think he did really well. And Dobbik is a weird player because he doesn't look like a good player, but he just suddenly he just comes up where you don't expect it, and he scores a goal. And he was almost invisible last night.
I thought Baroni made the right decision to play Gigot instead of Hila. Hila
Mm-hmm.
suffered Dobbik in the other derby. Gigot dominated the game. I don't know if I'm more surprised about Gigot dominating Dobbik or Gigot not getting a yellow card.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody else got a yellow card, so it's kind of. I don't know why did Ravella get a yellow card at the end. Do you know?
Yeah, because he protested, because I thought that was an incredible. The referee was simply terrible yesterday.
Yeah, he was really bad. I agree.
And Rovella went to complain. That was a clear foul for us. And the ref instead gave him a yellow card, which isn't acceptable. We talk about Gigot, we have to mention Romagnoli scoring in the derby and close to the Curva Nord. I thought he had another terrific game. And
Yeah,
he's a top scorer in the 2025. That's unbelievable.
it's ridiculous. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Romagnoli was great. He was so good. It was a fantastic header, and I think the first header was pretty good too, because he had to react really, really quickly. It came really close to him, but great save by Svila. I'm seeing everywhere that Svila was man of the match, and I would have to agree. I mean, without him, I think Lazio would have won 3 or 4-1. So, but we have to talk about the strikers, Vittorio. I mean, they're just not scoring any goals. We have Sakani is not scoring any goals. Tati, Noslin, Chauna. I mean, it's just everybody now. Dia hasn't scored. Gustav Isaksen scores once in a while, but I mean, why can't our strikers score goals anymore? 3-4 months ago, they were scoring 3, 4, 5 goals every game. Now we're scoring one, if we
Yeah.
score at all. You know.
I think it's lack of quality now. The games are more important and they feel the pressure. I mean, I think 5 months ago, Nosley would have easily scored that goal. And same thing from Dia. Now we are struggling. And there's question mark on Zaccagni. He's not 100% fit. And you could see him yesterday. He came off the pitch because he had a muscle injury. I hope he's going to be back on Thursday. But Zaccagni had a good opportunity. The ball went wide, close to the post. Isaacsen had 2 opportunities. He didn't. He's not a goal scorer, right? He's not going to be a player that scores 15 goals a season. You expect more from Dia, from Castellanos. Even Pedro is struggling. Last goal he scored was the penalty against AC Milan, and that was it. I think this summer we need a top striker, someone who you can rely on, because Nati is not that player, right? He's the one playing with the team, etc. He's not going to be the one that scored 20 goals a season.
No, I think we need a number 9 who scores goals regularly. I'm not saying we should get someone like Thierry Immobile, because there's only one Thierry Immobile, but I think Dia kind of looked the part for 3-4 months. You know, he looked like he was that he could sort of roam next to Tati Castellanos and maybe get some of the chances that kind of bounced off him. But he's just completely gone off the boil. He hasn't scored in several months now. I think that he's almost invisible in many of the games too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, at least De La Bashiro is working a lot. But yeah, we just can't score any goals, which is, not good news because we have to score at least 2 goals on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time we scored 2 goals.
I think it was against AC Milan. Oh, no, Victoria Pilsen, sorry.
All right.
But the problem is, you mentioned strikers, but even our midfielders doesn't score at all, right?
No.
Guendouzi, Rovella, terrific players, but they don't score. And Dele Bashiru yesterday, decent in the first half. I thought he was terrible in the second half. We need, we were used to Milinkovic Savic, a completely different level. We need a midfielder that scores, right? Kamada, something like that. Because you cannot rely wholly on defenders. I mean, I was reading this morning that after Inter, Lazio is the team in Serie A who has more goals from our defenders.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I agree with you. It's really interesting because if you look at the first 4 months, we were scoring for fun.
Yep.
Lots of goals we were conceding lots of goals, but it didn't matter because we were scoring 3-4 goals every single match anyway. I remember one of my colleagues where I work said that Lazio is the most fun team to watch in Italy at the moment. It's the new Atalanta. Every time they play, it's like 4-2 or 5-3 or something. And now it's all 1-0 and 0-0 and 1-1. I mean, and this team is not built to be a defensive team. It's built to be an offensive team.
Yeah.
And so when our offensive players can't score any goals, obviously we have problems.
Yeah, the good thing of yesterday is that we created a lot of chances.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take them, though. That's the concern. You were mentioning Dia. He had 4 very good months, then he disappeared. Nosley never pick up. Chauna, again, question mark.
Yeah.
We mentioned Isaksen, but if Isaksen didn't score those goals from November onwards, we would have been like,
we're number 10 now.
Yeah, So Isaksen has been really reliable. Did you expect more from Zaccagni? Because at the end of the day, probably we're missing his goals.
Yeah, no, we're certainly missing his goals. I mean, how many goals has he scored this season, Zaccagni?
I don't remember. Not
something
that much,
like
to be honest.
No. I can check. Oh, he has 8 goals this season.
Yeah, so
okay. That's a bit more than I remember. But he hasn't scored in a really long time. If he's injured, as you say, that's, I think, more understandable. But I think he goes missing for long periods of the games. Suddenly, I don't see him for 20 minutes. And when he was really, really good, Zaccagni, I thought he was a menace to the other team. Every time he had the ball, he would do something that was dangerous. Yeah, and I don't think that we can say it's because Pellegrini is playing left back, because I think Pellegrini is doing better and better.
Yeah, yesterday I was expecting a little bit more than when he was attacking, but I mean, it's not Pellegrini the problem. Maybe we undervalue the importance of Felipe Anderson on the other side. Maybe Zaccagni was more able to do things because the opponent were most concerned about Felipe Anderson rather than Zaccagni. And now with Isaksen on the other side, he's been doubled a lot and not able to do what he wants to do. It's even true with something, Carsten. He's always doing the same thing, right? He's moving from the left, moving centrally and trying to hit the second post. Everybody knows it. So you can't prepare, right? You know already where he's going.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest chance he had yesterday, he actually did the opposite. He went to the right, and and I think that was a good save by Svila as well, because he was really close to the goal. So I don't think that's what he does every time. I think Zaccagni does that every time. He always tries to cut inside. And I don't know, maybe Zaccagni should, try and maybe dribble the other way once in a while.
I was talking about Zaccagni, sorry.
Oh, okay, Zaccagni. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. I don't think he's just not really playing well at the moment, and that's a problem because the next 10 matches is going to decide the whole team. The whole season.
Yeah.
And I think the Bodo game, if we can I switch to the Bodo Glimt
Of
game?
course. I mean, it's the most important game of the season now.
I think it is because the thing is that there is only one place left for the Champions League because Juventus is going to take one of those places.
Yeah,
You know,
and Atalanta winning yesterday,
it's going to be really difficult to be number 4. Bodo Glimt played a really, really good match against Lazio. As you said, I think they could have won 4-0, 5-0. We were completely outplayed in that match. I also think, though, I think it's a little bit unfair that they have that pitch, because you could tell the assist for the second goal when he sort of pitches the ball up in the air with the outside of his foot. That's an indoor move. That's something you do when you play indoor football, and you can't do that on a grass pitch. It's impossible. And Bodo Glimt are specialists on that pitch, and nobody else plays on a pitch like that. I know that they are very far up north and all that stuff, but I don't understand that UEFA will let them play those matches. It's a big match. It's a quarterfinal in the Europa League. I think they should be forced to play in the southern part of Norway. If they played in Oslo, there's certainly grass pitches down there.
yeah, of course.
You know, I thought it was a little bit unfair. I'm not saying that not as an excuse, because Lazio was terrible in that match, completely terrible. But the only problem is Bodo Glimt can also play on grass. They're not just a specialist team. If you look at the results when they play away in Europe as well, they don't just lose 3 or 4-0 away. So we're going to have big problems.
Yeah, that's the point. Baroni is very confident. I'm not the same. Yes, they lost a lot of games away, but the only time they conceded 3 goals was against Manchester United, and they scored 2. So, we need to score 2 goals in 90 minutes without conceding anyone. So it's not going to be easy. But, Carsten, if we play like yesterday, I think we have an opportunity. Of course, we have to take the chances, not only create them. But if we play like yesterday, we can win it, right?
I think Rovella will be extremely important in that match, because Vecino was a disaster in Norway, just a disaster. He's getting too old. He's very slow. Those little quick Norwegians, they just flew by him, basically. Yeah. I mean, it was like playing with 10 men, to be honest. I think Baroni has made a huge mistake in Europe by not including Bellerin in the squad, because if you look at the Norway game, we had 6 or 7 strikers available. We had Schauner available. We had Noslin available, De La Bashiro, and all the rest, the people, the Tati and everybody else. And you get a midfielder that's basically perfect for the midfield, and the one that we are missing because we get so many yellow cards in that midfield, and you don't include him in the squad. I think it could have been a completely different game if Bellerin had played. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but in that particular game, he would have been so much better than Vecino was. So I think that Baroni has made a mistake. Why does he need all those strikers? Why did you need to add Schauner to that squad? Schauner has been terrible for 6 months. And you had 6 other strikers. You need to add number 7? I mean, I really think that, and I like Baroni. I think we should extend and get him to stay at Lazio for a few years. But that was a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's a huge mistake from my point of view, because you cannot change it now. So, even if you go in the next game, you still will be with Rovella, Guendouzi, and Vecino. And as you were pointing out, Vecino, since he got back from the injury, has been dreadful. And, he's not getting any younger. He needs time after a long injury. He's been out like 3 months. He needs to get back in shape, and it's not easy. So, Belayan would have been perfect for us in the last Thursday. And, I thought we should have played Belayan, giving more opportunity. And Chauna, as you were mentioning, was terrible. Do we really need him in Europe? you have other options. You can play Dele Bashiru on the winger instead of
Yeah, I know. We have so many strikers options, you know. And in Norway, I think we subbed like 3 or 4 strikers, and we can do that every single game. The problem is we have no midfielders.
Yeah.
We have 2 excellent midfielders who play every single minute of our games. The problem is that one of them, he gets a yellow card every time he plays.
Yeah.
Rovella's so good, but he gets booked every single game he plays, basically.
Yeah.
So suddenly you have a game where you don't have Rovella. Maybe we'll have a semi-final where we don't have Rovella or Guendouzi. What are we going to do? We have no midfielders. No one. I mean, what's he going to do? So I think that was a big mistake. It's not the only reason why we lost in Norway. Bodo Glimt is, like I said, it's a specialist team. They basically play indoor football up there. The ball was never in the air, if you remember. It's never in the air. They just play indoor football, and because they're so used to it, they're so damn good at it too, you know?
Do you think the hot weather could have an impact on them if in Roma will be 20, 22 degrees?
No, I don't think so. I think they could be. I mean, I know that they have played in Europe and they've played on some big stadiums, but if Lazio can create something, I mean, not like yesterday, because that's not going to be possible, but it is a big stadium. It's a big occasion. It's a big city. Lazio is a big team. If Lazio can score a quick goal, you know, within the first 15, 20 minutes, I think maybe they would be a little bit nervous, this team. You have to remember, this is a small team from a small league. These players they're not even playing on international teams. They have 3 Danish players in that team. They're not even close to the Danish national team. Not even close. So this is a weird team that a very, very good coach has made much better than they really are, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm not completely sure how we're going to make it, but to be honest, I don't think we're going to progress. I think it's maybe 70-30 or maybe 60-40 to Bodo Glimt, because 2 goals, we never score 2 goals.
No, the problem is that you don't have to concede none, and it's something that we've been struggling all year long. So it's not only you have to score 2 plus 1, you have to not concede, and it's going to be difficult with this team. It's going to become difficult even because I imagine we are going to try to attack and to score, and so we're going to concede counterattacks to them, and they're quite fast. So
yeah, and they're very intelligent. They're very technically good. I don't know how good the pitch is in Rome at the moment. What did you see yesterday?
it was decent, to be honest with you.
That's probably not good for us. You know, I think as bad as maybe we could arrange a rugby match on Wednesday night. You know, because this is a really, really technically very well equipped team. It really is. I mean, the referee is going to be important as well. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit afraid of that game. I think it's going to be hard for us to win by 2. And also, when I saw the game yesterday, I was thinking, how can this team play in 4 days again? I mean, they gave everything yesterday, which is what Baroni said after the match. He said, I can't fault my players. They did everything they could. And I think Lazio played a really good match yesterday. They really should have won.
Yeah. I think you mentioned Baroni. I think he made the mistakes when Ranieri put on Shomurodov. He should have changed, take off Dele Bashiru, who in the second half was terrible, and maybe put immediately Belayan and defend and play with 3 central midfielders and defend better. I thought the subs came too late again on Sunday, and this had a huge impact because after we scored, Roma was attacking much more, and we were struggling. So
yeah, I completely agree. I think that if you go 4 months back, we would have tried to get that second goal. That's what we did. But it's different in a derby game. You're up 1-0. You know how it's going to be. You will always try to be a little bit careful because 1-0 is fine, right? But I think the goal that they scored, I don't know what you're going to do about something like that. Of course, he had a little bit too much space, but it's a fucking wonder goal, man. I mean, there's just no way you can score that goal unless you're very, very good and you get very, very lucky, you know?
Yeah, I think he got both of them, but they had a couple of chances there. Mandas made an unbelievable save early on.
Yeah.
So you can see that they didn't have nothing before the goal, and then suddenly they were creating chances. So a smart manager, try to change something. You don't keep the same thing if things are not working anymore.
No, that's a problem, and I think that he's a really good player, Sule. He almost scored a second goal when he caught the Mendes going out in the penalty area, and he tried to shoot from this very basically from the baseline. I don't think Mendes would have gotten to that. It was a really good shot. He's sort of like a Dybala. He's not as good as Dybala, but he's same thing, left foot and very technically good. He's a good player. Maybe we can buy him, Vittorio.
Yeah, with which money? I mean, I think they overpaid him, to be honest with you, but he's an interesting player. Well, if we remember, we paid 80 million euros for Noslin. That's completely nonsense.
Yeah, how old is Noslin? He's young,
25.
right? Oh, he's 25?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware. I think the problem against Bodo Glimt will be that Lazio is not really a team that can sort of establish a pressure on a team, because we pass it backwards all the time. And we try to set it up for Sakani, we try to set it up for Isaksen. But if you play a team like that, like the Norwegian team, and you want to create some kind of pressure so you can create some panic, it's not really the way that Lazio is playing. We're always starting over all the time.
Yeah.
And I think for this particular game, I think that we need to see if we can apply some pressure on the Norwegians, But yeah, I have no idea how Barone is going to do it. He seems confident that he'll win. He's more confident than me. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
even he said it yesterday. I'm not that convinced, to be honest with you, but he looks really confident. And I don't know. I think we're gonna play with the Castellanos and Dia, but seeing how Dia played yesterday, I don't think it's a good. I understand the reason, right? You have to score 3 goals, so you're gonna play the double strike.
Yeah.
But if Dia plays like this, you can play even 3 hours. You're not gonna score, right?
No, I mean, I think we're all hoping that Dia will wake up again, because with Noslin, we don't know if there's any quality. I mean, I don't know if there's any quality. I haven't really seen any quality at any point. Once in a while, once in every 2 games. But Dia has played really well for 4 months, so we know the quality is there. He's just been hiding it for 3 months now, So I think we're hoping that he's going to get over that hurdle. I mean, I am anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we need something there, right? Our strikers are really been struggling this year, and I cannot believe it's all because Tati has been injured. Because
No, he's not that good. I mean, Tati is not. He's not Giro Immobile. He's not a great striker. He's not a bad player. I mean, I like him as a player, but he's not going to score 20 goals or anything like that. I mean, and I think maybe we should look at. Do you think that maybe we should get a new number 9 for this summer? Someone who scores more goals?
well, definitely we have to sign someone who can compete with Castellanos, because if he get injured, we cannot be like this next year.
Nobody.
I mean,
And we have to sign a midfielder as well, a
Yeah.
quality midfielder, because we can't. I mean, look at it. Rovella has not been injured this season. Basically, not right. The season before, he was injured basically the entire season. Can you imagine what we would have done if Rovella had been injured? I mean, half the season. We'd have no midfielders at all. I mean, I don't understand this squad, because we have so many strikers, and then we have how many quality midfielders? 2, 3?
I don't know. I don't know who you're considering midfielder. So
Yeah.
we tried Castrovilli and didn't work out. And Ibrahimovic is a question mark. He played what, 20 minutes so far?
Yeah, well, he's not a midfielder. He's just another striker. We have 7 of those already.
We didn't need it. So I think. What's your take on Belayan performance yesterday?
I mean, I think we saw the same that we did the first match he played. He's not great with the ball at his feet. Rovella is much better. He's a little bit like Rovella defensively.
Yeah.
I think he closes down a lot. I think he's pretty quick. He's pretty intelligent when the other team has the ball, but he's not much of a ball player, But like I said, like we talked about on Monday, I don't mind having a midfield sweeper like that, because that's kind of what he would be. He would be a midfield sweeper. and then you would have Guendouzi and Rovella sort of running things in midfield. That's fine with me. That's fine. And I think against Bodo Glimt in Norway, that would have been a really good option. It might even be a good option on Thursday. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be like that. Baroni is going to play 4-2-4 as he always does, and I think we know who's going to start already.
Yeah, Belayan is not in the list, so we don't have that option.
Exactly.
Do you think our Champions League race in the Serie A is over after this draw in the Derby? We are 3 points behind Juventus, that is fourth now.
Yeah. Well, let me just check. I mean, I don't think it's over because Juventus is 59 points, Bologna is 57, we're 56. I mean, Atalanta is not playing that well either. So I think that we still have a chance to catch up with Juve or Atalanta. But I mean, we need to start winning some games. We haven't won in Rome in 9 games now.
Lazio Monza is the last one in Serie A.
I mean, the points we have thrown away in Rome in 2025. I mean, what are the teams that we haven't been able to beat? We haven't beaten Roma. That was 1-1. We didn't beat Torino. We played 1-1 with Torino, a team that has absolutely nothing to play for. We played 1-1 with Victoria Pilsen. We played 1-1 with Udinese, another team that has nothing to play for. We played 0-0 with Venezia. I mean, I know that was away, but we've just thrown away so many points, I think, to small teams, especially at home. And usually in Rome, if Udinese comes to Rome or Venezia comes to Rome, I mean, we usually beat them every time.
Yeah, it's strange because starting of the season, we were terrific at home. We were unbeatable, etc.
Yeah.
And now 2025, it's terrible. And I don't think it's problem of the fan. The attendance is still very good. Fans are still very passionate, etc. I think players like Noslin, like Chao are feeling the pressure, and they're not able to perform under the pressure. But yeah, this is costing the Champions League spot. Now, we are playing on Monday next week because there is Easter, and we're playing away against Genoa, if I'm not wrong. Juve is playing away against Parma, and there is Atalanta-Fiorentina, maybe. Fiorentina is playing maybe Bologna, something like that. So that's a huge opportunity. And then later on, there's Lazio-Juve at home. So it's not over.
No, it's not over at all. I mean, and if we beat Juventus at home, and I think we can certainly beat Juventus at home. I mean, it's certainly possible. I mean, look at the next games. We have Bodo Glimt next time, right? In Europe. And then Genova, a team that we should be able to beat. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we should be able to beat them. They have nothing to play for. There's no, they're not going to be relegated. And then we have Parma at home. We have to win that match.
Yeah.
And then we have Empoli away. We could win that too. So, I mean, if you, let's say that Lazio suddenly started scoring goals. That's basically 9 points right there. Let's be, for once, let's try to be optimistic, Vittorio.
Yep.
Those 3 games are not difficult. They're not compared to Serie A in general.
Yep. We had a tough fixture before. Now it's getting lighter after the derby. My concern is you're playing Thursday, fundamental game.
Yes.
You could be a little bit tired on Monday, but still, you're playing Genoa. It's not Real Madrid. If you want, to fight for the Champions League, you have to start winning games, right? So
yeah. No, I completely agree. And our strikers have to start scoring goals. We can't keep playing with only defenders scoring goals and then Gustav Isaksen once in a while. I mean, our strikers, we have to find one of the strikers have to find something. It could be Pedro, Zaccagni, Dia. I don't care. Just one of them find a streak and start scoring regularly. I mean, we can't. It's been 2 or 3 months now. Our strikers score no goals at all. No goals.
Yeah. Were you surprised about Pedro? Because in the last month or so, after the Milan game, he hasn't been performing. And it's strange because he has experience. He's very talented. Do you think he's getting a little bit tired playing so much?
I mean, he is pretty old, right? He's about your age or my age, Vittorio.
Nearly.
I think he had a good shot yesterday. That was another good save by Milos Villa. he still has a lot of potential when he goes on the pitch. He's so dangerous in front of goal, in my opinion. He's been a little bit unlucky the last month. I agree with you, like all the other strikers. But yeah, you expect a little bit more from someone like Pedro. I think he's a great substitute. He never complains about being a substitute. I mean, it's still it's the kind of player that I love to be able to put on the last 30 minutes of a match when everybody's tired. But he has to play when the other team is a little bit tired, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree on that. The problem is, with these players, we were mentioning Dia, etc. I mean, sometimes he has to start because he's better, or at least give you more opportunity to score. I mean, Thursday it's a very important game. You have Dele Bashiru, Dia, and Pedro to play trequartista. Maybe I would try Pedro from the start. I don't know.
No, I don't disagree. Maybe. I don't know what Baroni is thinking. It's like you said, it's the most important game of the rest of the season. It's on this Thursday. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. It's almost too hard to watch, It's gonna be so nervy to watch that match. It really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the stadium, so I hope I'm not gonna die there. Were you surprised to see Manda starting?
No, I mean, you asked me last Monday, would you start with Mendes from now on? And I said yes. So I think Baroni is probably listening to our podcast, Vittorio.
I wish so.
I think Mendes has been much better than Provedel. I mean, and when he plays so well, I mean, you gave him one chance to start, and he played really, really well. You have to keep starting him. If you give somebody an opportunity and they take the opportunity, you basically have to say, okay, well, he earned it. He's going to play from now on. And he's been so good. I mean, he's had so many really important saves the last 3 or 4 games, and we have missed those saves because Provedel has not been making them this season. And I think he's really good with his feet. Did you notice how far he kicks the ball, and he's very precise?
Yeah, yesterday he missed a couple of balls.
Yeah.
Could have been better. But do you expect him to start on Thursday? Or do you think Baroni is going to give an opportunity to Provedel?
No, I think Mandas is playing the rest of the season. I think Mandas, this is his spot now. That's my impression.
I think he deserves it. Now, the question mark is what you do with Provedel. I think you try to sell him this summer, but would you get a decent offer if he doesn't play all the season?
No, we're not going to get a decent offer at all. He's 31 years old. He hasn't played that well the last season or so. He was great 2 seasons ago. So we're not going to get a decent offer at all. I mean, goalkeepers are generally not very expensive, and he's fairly old as well. He's never going to... A team that buys him will never get any money from him ever. So, no. I mean, maybe we can get a couple of million euros. That's it.
So do you think at this point it's better to keep him as a second option, or?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, if he can. The problem is how proud of a person is he?
Yeah.
Will he be okay with being second string, second choice for the next season? If he says right away, I'm not going to be second choice, then we have a problem, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's not going to stay. I mean, he was in the national squad thanks to us. I think he wants to get there back. But, I mean, Mandas, as you were saying, when he started, he always delivered. So even yesterday in the derby, I thought he played well. So especially next Thursday, I don't know, Monday, maybe against Genoa, you can give another chance to Provedel, rotate them a little bit. But I think Thursday is so important that every piece of the puzzle are going to be fundamental, goalkeeper included.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can pick up after this disappointment against Roma, because it really was disappointing. We should have won that game, and we spent so much energy. So I don't know what Baroni will do this week to get these players up to the same level, because they need to be at the same level. If they want to beat Bodo Glimt by 2 goals or more, they have to play like they did this yesterday, or maybe even better, actually. Bodo Glimt is a really good team. They really are. And they can play on grass as well.
Yeah, I know. The people are convinced the opposite, which drive me crazy. If you reach the quarterfinals of a Europa League, you have to be a good team, not only at home, even away. So it's going to be really difficult. I don't know how much the derby will count, how many energy we have left. But yeah, it's the game of the season, right? So
Yeah. No, it certainly is. Well, to those people who think that this is going to be easy, you can ask them if Pilsen was easy at home. Was that an easy game? No, it was not.
well,
I mean, all in all, we didn't deserve to go through playing against Pilsen. We didn't. We were really, really lucky in that game. This team is certainly as good, and we don't have a 2-1 lead in this game. We're down 2-0. So this is not going to be easy. To me, it's a surprise if Lazio is in the semifinals.
yeah, I think they are favorite, to be honest with you. And against Victoria Pilsen was probably one of the worst home games we ever played this season. So yeah,
Yep.
it's not going to be easy. The big question is who's going to be fit to play because Zakanya went out yesterday. So there are a lot of question marks, but this is the beginning of the season. You have to focus only on Thursday and then, think about the rest of the season if you don't go through, or focusing on the next game in the Europa League if you go through. But
Yeah, man. I mean, we have to hope that some of our strikers, like I said this 10 minutes ago, so I'm just going to repeat it. We hope that one of our strikers comes through a period where he suddenly starts scoring. Just one of them. I don't care who it is. Just one of them starts scoring a little bit, and maybe we can get him on a streak. It's really important because we have some not very good teams the next 3 or 4 games, and we have to be able to score goals. We can't just score 1 goal in those matches
no,
or 0 goals.
and overall football is a simple game, right? Who score more goals win. It doesn't count if you play better or worse.
Nope.
If you score 3 goals and the other don't, you win the game. So we hope to be even a little bit lucky because we haven't been so lucky so far. So a little bit of luck, maybe a mistake from the goalkeeper, that would help.
Yeah, that would help. Maybe the rugby game before the match. If Baroni listens to the podcast, maybe he will arrange that.
Okay, we'll try. Carsten, thanks always for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you. And
thank you, Vittorio.
Crossing finger for Thursday. It's a very, very important game.
Yep.
Thanks to our Patreon. Remember, you can support us on patreon.com/Lazio Lounge. Membership starts at $2 a month. And we'll be back after Lazio Bodo. Take care, guys.